Well, hello, it's Tuesday, and this morning I've come for a little walk in the woods at Mousehold in Norwich. Actually, one of the things I love about being single is the fact that I can do whatever I want on a whim, whatever takes my fancy, when it takes my fancy, and there's nobody to run it past, nobody to have to say, I'm just going to do this, is that all right with you this morning? And I know that is being considerate of the other person, which is what should happen in a relationship. But I was in a relationship, I was in a marriage for 17 years, and it's something that I really value now that I'm no longer in that marriage, is that I can just take off and do what I want whenever I fancy, and there's nobody to have to get permission from. Has me thinking, actually, being single actually has, for me, a lot more benefits than it has negative points. Maybe I'll go through a few of them today. It's raining. That lovely sort of fine, misty rain that doesn't make you absolutely soaked. I love it. Rain is something that gives me inspiration, motivation, helps me think. So many people hate the rain, but for me, a bit of rain just gives me life, it gives me energy. I love it. There's nothing nicer than when you're indoors and the window is open and it's absolutely pelting down with rain outside. Love it. So coming somewhere like this when it's drizzling with rain is pretty much as good as it gets for me. I love it so much. So yes, singledom. There are lots of benefits to singledom, as far as I'm concerned. One of them, as I've said, not having to run everything past your partner. So where you're going, what you're buying, what you're having for tea, plans for the future, plans for holidays, plans to visit people, things to do with the children, how you dress the children, how you decorate, how you run the home. As I said, I understand that you have to, absolutely, you have to compromise and take their opinion into consideration, because that's what a nice person does in a relationship. And trust me, I absolutely did that for 17 years. In fact, I won't go into it too much on this video, but I believe that the relationship was controlling on his part. So perhaps I did it more than I should, really. Oh, it's a bit steep here. I don't want to be falling down and finding and waking up in 3 days' time in a ditch. Yeah, I think that probably I did a bit too much, really, in that relationship. But every of his whims, I went along with. Perhaps I'll make a video about that at some point, but I'm trying to be a bit respectful to him and the children by not really saying much more than that. But even in a relationship that isn't controlling, woo! Emma, try not to fall. Yeah, it's a little steep here, guys. Maybe I've not taken a very sensible route. So yes, even if a relationship isn't controlling, you still, out of being considerate and kind, have to run so many things past your partner. But when you're single, you literally can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and there's nobody to have to get, permission from, as it were, or to, run it past. And for me, that's fantastic after 17 years in what I believe was a controlling relationship. I mean, if you and your partner have completely different tastes, then decorating is a nightmare, isn't it? Because, say one of you wants things all pink and floral and feminine, and the other one wants things to be very minimalist, basic, manly. You're going to be kind of, arguing basically about what colour should we paint the sitting room? Which sofa should we get? What are we going to put on the walls? How much stuff are we going to put on the walls? This is a nice little den. Let's sit in here for a bit. Oh, this is nice. Oh, I like this. I'm going to sit in here for a little while. Look out this little doorway here. This is rather nice. So yes, I absolutely love the fact that I can decorate my home exactly as I want, and there's nobody to disapprove of, what I do. And if anybody should come into my house and say, I don't like the fact you've done this or that, well, it's not up to them, it's my home. I remember when I first separated from my ex-husband, the first thing I did was literally out with everything that I'd had to have because I wasn't allowed to have what I'd wanted, and brought in what I wanted. So I painted the whole house in a sort of off-white colour. It's sort of a pinky white, but it looked white pretty much. His sofa that he always sat on, farted on, nose bled on, that went out. And I got a nice, well, at the time I wanted a leather sofa, a pleather sofa, I should say. So I got that, a new dining table, because he'd always insisted that we had to wait to find more dining chairs on a skip or in the street. So the dining table we had was this ginormous round one, which was too big for the room. And, random chairs we found on skips. So that went, and I got a nice small rectangle shaped dining table, matching sort of pleather chairs. I basically just redid the whole house, partly because, of course, we'd separated. It's nice to have something a bit fresh so you can move on. But also because of the fact that I'd not been allowed, because I met him when I was 18. So all my adult life, I'd never actually been allowed to have the furniture and the decor and the paintwork that I had wanted. So, with him gone, I thought, right, I'm going to do this. And I completely changed the whole house. And then I remember when he came round to see the children the first time, or maybe not the first time, but one of the earlier times, he was absolutely horrified. Who told you to paint the wall this colour? Whose idea was this? As if, I couldn't have had any of my own ideas. Well, I'm really enjoying sitting in here, and I may return to this if it starts absolutely belting down with rain, but let's go outside of our little camp for a bit and see what else is around. So, bye-bye, little den. You served me well for a time, but it's time for me to move on. Let's go this way. There's actually a pond here called the Vinegar Pond around here somewhere. And I was going to go to that one day with you guys, but they've recently drained it. And if I find where it is, I'll let you know why they have drained it. Oh, if you could breathe in the air that I'm breathing in now, it would be wonderful. A membership perk. If only I had memberships, which I don't yet. I need more subscribers, guys. Tell your friends. So yes, that's one of the benefits of being single. Of course, there are other benefits, particularly when it comes to the bedroom department. I'm not being filthy here, guys. I'm talking about duvet snatching, snoring, farting, wriggling about, getting up, coming to bed different times. If you're not compatible with the time your partner goes to bed, so if they work late and you're an early bird, things like that, or if they like to stay up late watching movies and you have to get up early for work, that can really cause problems if you're bed sharing. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever want to live with a man again, but if I ever live with a man again, we're definitely having separate bedrooms. I think that is the ideal, solution to make a marriage last, is to have separate bedrooms. You can have all the naughty stuff and the cuddles and the hugs and chats and everything in one of the beds. But when it comes to going to sleep, night-night, it was lovely seeing you. Off I go into my, nice, comfortable bed. Star fishing. Nobody there to kick, snore, pinch, jab me in the back when they decide that they're getting a little bit excited and want you to join in. There's none of that. So, separate bedrooms all the way. But I mean, it's something that so many couples complain about and say that their relationship is being ruined by, is, that their partner won't stop snoring, or have to keep going down to the sofa because of his snoring, or, oh, in the night I wake up freezing cold because he's stolen the duvet. Well, it doesn't have to happen that way, guys. Separate bedrooms all the way. Or divorce, which is the option I chose. I didn't divorce him just because he snored and took the duvet. There were other reasons. I mean, there are lots of reasons in my book to be single. The things I miss are bedroom fun and snuggles, with somebody you care a lot about. And to be honest, not much else. Obviously, it's lovely when you're in a relationship and you can have all the conversations and plan things together, but I don't miss them, really. I get conversation with friends. In fact, since being separated from Mr. Lemon in 2012, so some time ago now, I've actually realised how actually friendships can be better than relationships. I might do another video on that, actually. But, I value friends much more than I did. I think I had a feeling in that marriage that I don't really need friends. Got my husband. No, unhealthy, dangerous, toxic, not a good way to feel. Yeah, sure, be great friends with your partner. Nothing wrong with that, but friends are really valuable. In fact, to me, right now, and for many years now, friends have been far more valuable than a relationship. So that's my advice. That's my thoughts. You don't have to... This video is entirely my own thoughts, guys. You don't have to, think, oh my God, who is this woman trying to, tell us how to have a relationship when she's been divorced since 2012 for 12 years, Well, who does she think she is? No, I'm only talking about my experience and what I feel. Obviously, if you're in a relationship and you find it works perfectly for you, good on you. There's a lot of people who would love that. And I'm not criticising you or people who want relationships. I'm literally just talking about what I want from a relationship and how I feel about being single personally. And perhaps it might inspire some of you who are single and feeling sad about not having a relationship. Maybe you might feel a little bit more, oh, okay, yeah, actually, I can see the benefits of this. I don't mind being single a little bit longer till Mr. or Mrs. Right come along. Another thing I found about being single, after, being with somebody for 17 years from the end of my childhood, is that I feel, grown as a person, found out actually who I was, what I want, what my interests are, and I think that's really good. And if you're single, you actually have, I believe, in my experience, a bit more time to explore your own interests, to find out what you want in life. So things that maybe you might not have had time for in a marriage because you were busy doing, things with your partner. And again, I'm not being rude here, guys. But, there might be things that you will be doing together with your partner sort of on a regular basis that meant that you didn't have time to explore your own interests that your partner had no interest in. I think that's another mistake a lot of people make, is they feel that if their interests don't match those of their partners, if their partner has absolutely no interest in what they're interested in, people think, oh, I won't do that so much. I'll do the things that we both like doing together, put my interests on the back burner. No. Stick with your interests. Do what you want to do. It enriches your life. You can be a better partner if you have already sorted out who you are, what you enjoy. It doesn't matter if you like completely different things, because I think this is supposed to be about the benefits of being single, and now this 12-year divorced woman is giving you relationship advice, guys. But I think it's much better to have separate interests and carry out your separate hobbies, interests, whatever, away from your partner. And then when you come together, you both get to talk about what you've been doing. You've been doing something different. to your partner, so you've got lots to talk about. This is an issue I had again in my relationship with Mr. Lemon. Because when I was with Mr. Lemon, because I met him when I was 18 and he was 31, and I felt like, oh, I want to be with him all the time, I don't want to be away from him, and we were always together. He wanted me to be with him all the time. Everywhere he went or I went, you know, we had to go together. And we were literally, apart from when we went to work, together every second, apart from when I was on the toilet, obviously. But, you know, he would even try and get in my bath with me. You know, it's like we've got to be together all the time. And we were together all the time, every minute of the day. And that meant that when we actually went out on a date, we just didn't have anything to speak about because there was nothing to talk about. We talked about it all. But then, you know, in the relationships that came after Mr. Lemon, particularly, you know, if I wasn't living with them and we had different interests, it meant that when we then went on a date night, we had loads to talk about. And, you know, we would sit there having dinner or drinks or whatever we were doing, and we literally just, you know, didn't stop talking because there's so much to say, you know, to tell about the time we've had away from each other. And the other reason we didn't stop talking is because we were both, you know, complete chatterboxes and didn't stop talking anyway. So, you know, we could have gone on and on. So sometimes I do wonder if people who are single have rose-tinted glasses about wanting to be in a relationship, and they're not actually appreciating the benefits of being single as they have them. When you're single, you're free. You could do anything you want. And there's nobody to, whoop, and he slipped over there. There's nobody to say to you, oh, I don't think you should do that. Oh, I don't really like the way you're doing that. You know, running the house. The way I run my house, I run it the way I want to run it. The way I bring up the children, I bring them up the way I feel fit. And I believe I'm very good at it. But there's nobody for me to have to listen to. And, you know, for them to say, oh, I don't like that outfit you've put them in today. Well, if nobody likes the outfit I put my kids in now, you know, that's just down to me and the child and nobody else, isn't it? Anyway, I don't mean to be preaching. This is just literally my thoughts. You can take them with a pinch of salt if you want, but yeah, just passing on my thoughts on the subject. Now, I haven't managed to find the vinegar pond yet that I was promising you. The trouble is, once I come into the woods, I do, particularly when I'm waffling at my phone, tend to lose all sense of direction. Now I can hear traffic in this direction, so it's not going to be that way. I'll turn around and go back this way and have a look, see if we can find it. Oh, what's that? Yes, it's a massive lump of dog poo. Looks like someone stepped in it. Yes. Yes, they have. Why can't people bloody pick up their dog poo? Drives me crackers. I know that we're in the woods, but, you know, there's no excuse for not picking up your dog poo. I used to own a dog, and it used to really annoy me if I would get blamed for dog poo that was lying around. It tarnishes all dog owners. The few irresponsible dog owners tarnish all the other dog owners. It used to really, really annoy me. Still does, to be fair. It's raining a bit harder now. Where's the vinegar pond gone? I know they've drained it, so, you know, it won't look like a pond, but I was expecting it to be, you know, like a big open space in the ground somewhere. Perhaps it's this way. Have a little look in here, shall we? I only ever find the vinegar pond when I'm trying to find Aldi. This is a shortcut I often take to get to Aldi. And a few times I've got lost on the way to Aldi and ended up at the vinegar pond. I don't know why it's called the vinegar pond. I'm going to have a quick Google to find out why it's called the vinegar pond for you guys. Back in a tick. Right, guys. Well, that was really interesting. Far too interesting for me to waffle it on in this video. So what I'm going to do is come back another day, find a vinegar pond and tell you all about it, because, wow, I expected it to just be a dip in the ground that happens to fill with water, but no, there's a lot of history and might be interesting. I found it interesting just briefly browsing over the internet. In fact, I've told you what it's called now, so you've probably all gone and Googled it and found out about it anyway, but yeah, I'll still make a video of that, I think, one day. Wonder where it is, though. How dare they not have put signs in the woods pointing the way to Vinegar Pond? I mean, seriously. Norfolk Council, get your act together. Listen. Listen to that. Now, if you listened and didn't hear anything, then we're not on the same page. That, to me, is a wonderful sound. Right, where's this pond? I'm determined to find this pond. I've got to be home for a delivery today, so I can't be here all day, but I'm determined now to find this pond. Non-existent pond because they've drained it, but yeah. I want to see what it looks like when it's drained. I'd like to film it while it's drained, because once it's filled up, and they might never drain it again in my lifetime. So I want to find it actually now. We're going to find it today. Up ahead there's the first person I've seen the whole time I've been in the woods today. Dog walker up ahead there. Right, well, this is the elusive Vinegar Pond, clearly, because I haven't managed to find it yet. I can't remember where it is. I should pretend I'm going to Aldi. Like I said, that's the only time I ever find it, when I get lost on the way there. Wow. Raining much harder now. I'd love to just have a little tent set up with a flask of hot chocolate and a biscuit and just sit in it with the rain pouring down. Can you hear the birds singing? It's just so nice. I'm a little nervous of the person who's up ahead. They have a hood on, so I can't gauge whether they're unsavoury, but their dog seems a little bit crazy, so I don't really want to go too close to them in case it is crazy. There's me complaining earlier on about people tarnishing all dogs with the same brush, and I'm doing the same thing now, but I don't really fancy disappearing mauled to death by a dog in Mousehold Woods. Oh, here comes some more people. Right, there's a lady there. She looks approachable. I'm going to ask her if she knows the way to the Vinegar Pond, because it seems like a wasted opportunity if I've come here looking for it and haven't found it, especially while it's been drained. Excuse me, do you know which way the Vinegar Pond is? I know it's been drained, yeah, but I wanted to look at it and I can't find it.
The best way to go is to keep coming. You see where that cyclist is?
Yes.
Go there,
yeah,
and then go left.
Oh, I've been looking all up this bit.
Oh, no, it's up that
it's
way.
Up that way. Oh,
yeah. You can kind of go anyway up there, but I'd say that's the clearest path.
Right, that's fine. I just wanted to have a look at it while it's empty.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bench, and when you hit the bench, turn left.
So up sort of that way there. All right, thanks very much. What a lovely couple. I don't know how much of that footage I will keep in, but yeah, they've told me exactly where the pond is, and oh, what a lovely couple. It's this way anyway. Oh, a swing. I wonder if that would take my weight. Should we find out? I could end up completely regretting this. I'm doing this for you guys. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Ow, that hurt. Cut my finger as well. Why do I do these things? I'm not giving up. I'm having one more go. Right, I think that's enough of that. Managed to cut my hand, so you know, the things I do for YouTube. Right, let's try and find this pond now. Don't know if you can tell from my footage, probably not, but this is quite steep. So I'm told it's at the top of here. So we'll have a look. Well, walking up this steep incline has certainly given me a workout. Fitness Friday. Here we come. Hey, up at the top. Do we see any empty pondage around here? No, I don't see any empty pondage. We'll keep going. Oh, hang on. Could be up there in that clearing. Hopefully. My finger's really hurting. Hopefully I haven't broken it. Broken my finger for you guys. Don't say I don't do anything for you. There's a bench. I know that they've emptied it, but that shouldn't mean that the pond simply doesn't exist at all. I should be able... Oh, hang on. Hang on. This looks promising. Perhaps. Maybe. Do I go that way, which looks promising? Or that way, which doesn't particularly look promising, but it doesn't mean it's not that way. Right, we're going the promising way first. Oh, could this be it? I tell you what, if I'm planning on making a video on it, I might just shoot the footage for it today because it's taken me so long to find it. I really don't want to have to go through all of that searching again. Yes, this is it. Here we are, guys. Vinegar Pond. And you're all thinking, really? Is that it? That's what we have been waiting for throughout the whole of this video? But this was full and they've drained it. And the reason they've drained it was because there were fish that were, what do you call it, multiplying, doing things with each other and procreating. And those particular fish were eating all of the other fish. And there was obviously then a concern that there would only be one species of fish and all the other fish would be dead and eaten and consumed and pooed out and whatever. So, yeah, they've drained the pond. I'm surprised, well, I was going to say I'm surprised there's no shopping trolleys and things at the bottom of it, but they'll be long cleared, I guess. This little fella over here, oh, he's flown off. Don't be camera shy. I was going to say that he was really enjoying it, but obviously didn't want to be on YouTube. Understandable. So yes, I'm now walking at the bottom of a pond. Strange, isn't it? I bet lots of people have come here looking for things. In fact, the lady that I asked directions from, she even said, I've already been there looking for treasure. Should have brought my metal detector, although I'd probably be told off because, you know, you're supposed to get permission from the owner of land, unless it's a beach. You have to get permission from the owner of land before you go metal detecting on any other land. So I wouldn't want to be getting in trouble, would I? No, I wouldn't. I wonder how long it will take for this all to be filled up again. Because presumably they're just going to let nature do it. Yeah, honestly, when I've come before, it's been, you know, up to where the grass is there. And all this has been water, and it's felt like a lovely space to sit and have a picnic. There's a nice bench there to sit on. But it's really strange now. It's just boggy land. Somebody's socks. Well, seriously, I never knew how much fun one could have filming an empty pond. It's just so nice. It's so peaceful. And, you know, I was taking just silent shots. And it was just so lovely to hear the birds singing, the rain coming down, and just being in the middle of a pond that has been drained. Thinking about what's been there, the history of it. Am I weird? Anyway, it's time for me to work out how to head back now, because it took me quite a while to find it in the first place. So I'm thinking it may take me a little while to navigate my way home. So let's start walking back through the woods again. Yeah, I'm going to make a separate video on the vinegar pond. It'll only be a short one, but I think the history is quite interesting and I hope you enjoy it. I'll try and put that out quite soon. It's funny, isn't it, that something that could just look quite simple, like a massive puddle, can have so much history attached to it and you don't even realise. You know, a lot of the time, anywhere you go, anything you look at, you don't really think about the fact it's had a history. It's been here, you know, many years before you, and it will probably continue to be there many years after you. It's just something that happens to be there. But yeah, it does make you think, doesn't it, about how short, you know, our time on the planet is. And going back to what I was saying at the start of this video, that is even more reason to... What's that? Looks like a dead frog. I think we'll leave that. That's even more reason to not spend your whole life feeling depressed about being single, if you are single. Sure, you know, have a look out for somebody, but don't make, you know, being in a relationship your only goal in life. There's so much out there for you to just enjoy that you can do without a partner and that you can actually do on your own or with a group of friends. So yeah. Advice from Emma Lemonn. Relationship advice again. But yeah, it's really nice to get out in nature and just explore what's out there. Because, I don't know, it's weird to think in a lifetime you're probably not even going to scratch the surface of finding out what's out there and, you know, history of things. If you're interested in that sort of thing, of course, you might not be interested. You might be thinking, I don't want to know anything. Bugger off, Emma. Gosh. Now, right, I wouldn't want to be falling down there and being found at the bottom unconscious. Particularly as, you know, I want to get this video out today. And if I fell down there and was unconscious, the video might take quite a while to get out. Gosh. And you might think, oh, that would make a good video though, Emma. You know, drama, add a bit of drama to the video, but no one would be able to access my phone and the footage to be able to make that video. God, I do have some strange thoughts sometimes. Somebody said to me yesterday, one of the parents at the school, they said, Emma, we sometimes wonder how your brain works. I'll tell you why they said that in a minute when I'm not walking across quite precarious ground. Well, this doesn't look too precarious, but I'm wearing some old Dr. Martens where the treads on the bottom are pretty much worn down. And it's raining. You might not realise from this video, but it is raining quite a lot. And the ground is quite slippy and I don't want to fall over. I'm old. I really don't want to be falling over. Yeah, so we were at the playground with the children after school, and then suddenly we could smell this massive waft of, you know, weed basically being smoked somewhere. And, you know, there was guesses, or maybe someone sitting just outside the playground smoking weed, couldn't see anybody. So I made the suggestion because it was really strong. Everyone was saying, why is it so strong? Why does it smell so strong? I made the suggestion that perhaps somebody was illegally growing weed in their attic and their attic had caught fire, and that's what we were smelling. And everybody laughed, and, you know, someone said, Emma, I wonder how your brain works sometimes. It's like, well, you know, it's a possibility. Oh, look, someone's been building a den here. It's a bit of a steep one again here. Let's try not to fall. Whoa! Right, we made it. I'm not going to go into this one. I do like it when I find these little dens, though. But annoyingly, I am actually completely lost now. Completely. I can't even find like the main path, because right through the woods there are some sort of main paths that have been left, you know, that help you get to places easily. I'm in that bit of the woods where you think you're going along quite well, and then suddenly there's steep bits going into big clusters of trees all over the place, and you can't work out where the hell you're going. I've got a delivery coming to my house in half an hour, and I want to be there for it. Right, I'm going to get a move on now. Is it this way? Is it this way? Gone is the peaceful, serene footage of earlier. Now I'm a woman, basically trying to work out where the hell she's going. I'll get there eventually, guys. If this video gets released, you'll know that I made it out alive.